It's a busy week for the Dan K Show. We're releasing the NCDC All-Stars, the 18U, 16U All-Stars, and we're releasing a Dan K Show. We're taping everything. We're doing everything. Our voices are recouping from a long weekend at the USPHL Winter Showcase, and we are talking all NCDC this week. It's NCDC week, baby. Let's get at it. Alright, Dan K Show fans, gonna be a little shorter show this week with all the work this guy has to do editing, but before I introduce the editor-in-chief, as you may say, or editor-in-chef, because he likes to cook, let's go to our three things. Thing number one, Mid-Atlantic Madness. Before we get into all the NCDC, we gotta talk a little bit about this premier and elite level, but first we talk the premier level in the Mid-Atlantic. Mid-Atlantic Madness, I said it was gonna be Mid-Atlantic month, and oh boy, does it look like I'm going to be right here. It is Philadelphia Hockey Club. They went 3-1 at the Winter Showcase. And also the New Jersey Rockets. How about a 3-1 showing at the Winter Showcase and an upset victory over our number one ranked Charlotte Rush. This Rockets team, I heard it from 8 different people. For real. For real, dude. This NJ Rockets team, watch out for them at the premier level. Thing number two, it's some tightness in the elite and the premier standings. There were a lot of races this year in these divisions that looked like they were runaways. Things were all said and done. But the Southeast Florida and North divisions, things are getting a little stuffy up there at the top, and teams are starting to kind of climb back down after a bunch of upsets this weekend, and it can go any way. Think about any way. It can go any way, right? Thing number three, the NCDC right now, and it is parity, a word that I spelled wrong for dozens of years in my life, but I've now figured it out thanks to the help of a man that I introduced into the booth, into the show, my left-hand man, my consigliere, mon frere from another mare, a man who loves poutine but likes cheese curds even more on their own. They don't need the rest. That's what he thinks. He thinks the frills are ridiculous and too much. And what I think is too much is trying to follow along with this NCDC division because it's anybody's ball game, Lucas. How about the parity this year?
Oh, it's been incredible. I mean, you can really take any one of this NCDC division and kind of boil it down. And folks, if you're wondering kind of where Dan got his three things this week, head over to dankshow.com. We just posted an article. The Dan K Show's doing weeks in review. We realize that there is too much stuff happening during every single weekend of hockey. So we are posting a week in review article every single Monday. You can check that out because it's not enough to post on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We had to find something for Monday, and this is the perfect way to get our thoughts into print. But let's go back to this NCDC, Dan. Yeah. I mean, you look at this division, you can't say one through the entire league, but you can break it down into 3 or 4 groupings where it's basically a coin toss once you're inside the points grouping.
You can look at this league right now. Let's look at the weekend alone. Just coming out of the winter break, let's talk upset city, population, everybody, bro. First, you started off on Friday. The New Jersey Rockets upset the New Hampshire Junior Monarchs 4-2 out of the break. You keep walking through this thing and you go, oh, the Dan K Show's on a broadcast. Utica Junior Comets against the Boston Junior Bruins. Oh, on their home rink in their home building? No chance for Utica. Wrong. 4-2 win. Kevin Sadowski, the Kev man, the Kev bro, Mr. Kevin Sadowski jumps into things. Little short-handy action for the win time. Short-handed hero man, Superman in a phone booth with the big-time cape, Kevin Sadowski. This guy is big-time. He's the real deal. You keep walking through this thing and you see, Utica gets that big win. They get beat by Twin City the next day. The South Shore Kings get the Rochester Monarchs. Then you look through, you keep digging. The Northern Cyclones, they had the Jersey Hitmen on the ropes. They had a 3-1 lead early in this one. They were dominating. Nope, the Jersey Hitmen scored 8 unanswered to win 9-3. And then to close out the entire weekend, the Jersey Hitmen get upset by the South Shore Kings. It's madness in the NCDC.
And it comes down to really 2 different things here, Dan. The Jersey Hitmen and the Junior Bruins occupying that 1-2 punch-counterpunch right now, separated only by 3 points. Both teams 8-2-0 in their last 10. Then you look at the rest of this division. Every team is borderline 500 in their last 10 games. Some teams are struggling. Some teams are surging. But so if you talk about the Jersey Hitmen and Junior Bruins battling for number 1, 3, 4, and 5. Cyclones, Junior Rangers, and PAL. Cyclones and Junior Rangers tied at 40. PAL 1 point back with 39 points. This third spot is up for grabs with any one of these teams immediately slotting back to at minimum 5.
You're talking about the third spot, though. Look as it goes all the way down to 10. The Utica Junior Comets at 10 right now are a 5-game win streak away from the third seed.
Yep.
They're 9 points back, folks. This is a situation where if you're 9 points back in the NHL at this point in the year, you're a fan base going, all right, boys, let's go. Let's get things going. You know, if you're the Preds, you're going like, let's get rid of Laviolette and let's make things happen right now. This is a situation here where everybody's in it. This entire top 10, anybody can end up anywhere. You can go from out of the whole thing to a home game. You can go from a home series in the first round to out of the whole gosh darn thing. It is anybody's ball game right now. And with it being anybody's ball game, what is my favorite thing to do?
Put me on the spot?
Put you on the spot and put Twinkies on my pizza, but I don't have any Twinkies and I don't have any pizza, so we're going to put you on the spot, Lucas. It's go time. Way too early prediction time for the Dan K Show. We're going to predict our 1 through 8 seeds in the NCDC coming up next.
You are watching The Dan K Show. Everything USPHL. From the NCDC to the Premier and Elite Leagues. The Dan K Show with Dan K and Lucas Jones.
All right, Dan K Show fans, it is time for our way too early predictions. Lucas, are we going to wager anything on this right now, or are we going to wait till next month's way too early predictions?
I think we're going to wait. And this actually gives the opportunity to the folks at home. If you can think of a good wager for us to kind of throw ourselves into here for who gets the least amount of these correct, let us know. Go to @_Dan K Show on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Give us a suggestion. Let us know. You can also go to the website, use the contact form. We respond to emails sometimes faster than social media because emails look official while we're at work.
We also respond as much as we can, as fast as we can, and we love talking to you. So make sure to let us know. Our favorite thing to do is have punishments for the Dan K Show. You can punish Dan K, you can punish Lucas Jones, you can make us do something funny. We are here, we are clowns for your entertainment. But now, for your entertainment, we will pick our top 8. Lucas, I want you to go 8 through 5 first. I will go 8 through 5. Then we'll do our 4 through 1. Remember how the playoffs work here in the NCDC? It's the 1 versus the 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5. They'll then be reseeded. For example, last season, the 8-seeded Northern Cyclones upset the Jersey Hitmen in round 1, so they were reseeded to play the 2-seeded Boston Junior Bruins after that. That's how this will work. That's how it'll play out. Lucas, 8, 7, 6, 5 for you.
Well, this is where I think the toughest picks are, is at this in this 8 through 5 slot, because a team that's in third right now, the Northern Cyclones, is essentially 3 straight losses away from being out of the whole thing. So I think this is the most difficult thing right here. Let me start with a team that I don't think is going to make the playoffs.
Ooh.
The New Hampshire Junior Monarchs. Wow. And I love the Monarchs.
Remember that, Coach Frew.
And I love Coach
Remember that Monarchs Nation. Remember that Narcs.
I love this team with all of my heart, but right now I don't think they have the offensive production to be able to get themselves into the playoffs. And feel free to put this up on the projector, because I would love nothing more than to do a New Hampshire Monarchs playoff game.
Get 'em.
So put this up in the locker room as motivational speech time. I don't think the Monarchs are going to make it. I think in that 8th spot, Dan, is going to be the Islanders Hockey Club. I think they've got the offensive production. If they can kind of figure things out on the defensive side, they're going to start winning games. IHC is known for its X's and O's. They can X and O themselves right into the playoffs in that 8th spot. In the 7th spot, I go Boston Bandits. I've always liked this Bandits team since the first time they came into the league. Defense wins you championships. We know that. We know that that's my saying. I'm going to hold on to that. In the 6th spot, I can see PAL kind of falling just 1 spot to number 6. I think this PAL team is good. I think they've got good goaltending. Right now, they just can't seem to find a footing. It feels like the wheels are spinning a bit. We'll see if they're able to pick that up. I'd put PAL number 6. In that number 5 spot, Dan, I am going to put the Connecticut Junior Rangers. I think the Connecticut Junior Rangers are going to come into this one at number 5. And I think that's actually going to work a little bit in their favor.
Who have always been my boys? What team's always been my boys? The Connecticut Junior Rangers since day one. When I was working for the Philadelphia Flyers Junior Hockey Club 7 years ago, those were my boys at the Connecticut Junior Rangers, man. Back in those days with the Danil Gerasimovs and things of those natures. Let's go into this thing. There's a lot going on here. And the first thing you have to do, like Lucas did, is talk about who you think isn't going to make it. And that is always tough. And I agree with you that the New Hampshire Junior Monarchs look like they're not going to make it. But I disagree with you that that's going to be the case here because they got Mr. Ogenzanian here at the break. Big time trade here. He moves over from the Thunder to the New Hampshire Junior Monarchs. I slot them in at the 8 seed. You know who I have jumping them?
Who?
You know who I have missing the playoffs?
Who?
I think stealing a spot from the Bandits in the 7 seed and the Bandits missing the playoffs, I have the Islanders Hockey Club at 7. Coach Timmy K has the boys, as you may say, buzzing. They went 3-0 at the USPHL Winter Showcase. This has been a young team from the start with a lot of learning to do, and if these boys can just buy in, if you boys can just buy in, it's there. The apple's there. Go get it, man. Go get that thing. I got IHC at 7, and I think they have an upset in the first round.
Interesting.
So I will tell you
All
that
right.
now. You can make of that what you wish. At number 6, I think this thing stays the way it is. I think it's the Twin City Thunder. I think the Thunder are a 6 seed. Earlier in the year, I said they were a top 4 team. I still think skill-wise they are. I wouldn't want to play them. I think I think we have 2 upsets in the first round this year. I think they would be the other one. I think as a 6 seed, they went on the road as well. At number 5, this was tough. This was difficult. I stick with the PAL Junior Islanders. I really think that right now where things have slotted out to, I think this is the way it's going to kind of sit and the way it's going to kind of stay. And I think that things are jumbling around right now. They're moving, but PAL, they're going to try to make a move. But the Cyclones right now with 3 games in hand, that's a lot of points to make up when you're already down 1.
It's an interesting take there, Dan. I kind of like that. I like that.
Do your 1 through 4.
So let's go. Let's start with 4 here, and a team that I think is going to go ahead and slot themselves up to 4 is the Twin City Thunder. Now, this is a team that also
Pander City, babe, trying to get the love of Auburn, Maine.
Doesn't necessarily have a lot of offensive production, but I like what their defense does. It's a pretty knockdown, drag-out defensive effort. The one thing that I will kind of undercut myself here is the Twin City Thunder take a lot of penalties. And that could come back to haunt both them and now me, putting my metaphorical life on the line for these boys. But I believe in the Twin City Thunder. I love that first-year bump. I think they're going to slot up to 4. 3, the Northern Cyclones.
Yeah,
I think that's a pretty good spot to put them in. They've got the offense, they've got the defense. Bryce DeFazio has no problem handling this thing all by himself. He'll find you. It's one of those situations where when he passes you the puck, he'll bounce the puck off your stick into the net for you. You just got to keep that thing right there. Where I think is going to be interesting, Dan, is the number 1 and number 2. At number 2, I've got the Jersey Hitmen.
Get out. Walk out of the building.
I've got the Jersey Hitmen at finishing this season at number 2. And let me tell you why. Nothing against the Jersey Hitmen. But I think the Junior Bruins are slated for some big moves. They are chock full of all-stars. They're chock full of talent. The Junior Bruins, they are just an overwhelming force. And I think at a certain point, the Jersey Hitmen are not going to be able to stay on top of that mountain forever. We're seeing potentially the cracks starting to form in that unbeatable monolith that is Toby Harris and Jim Hunt.
How many times do I tell you? I tried to teach you this lesson with the Hampton Roads Whalers. You couldn't learn it. They wound up chanting your name at the national championship game as they raised the darn cup. And now you're going to do it with the Jersey Hitmen. These are the Avengers. I will start at number 1. Forget convention. Forget the rules. I'm breaking the rules right now. My name's on the darn cup. I'm going to break the rules. The Jersey Hitmen are number 1. They've lost twice in regulation. The last time they lost in regulation was yesterday. That means they lost 1 other time over the last 4 months. You can't tell me there's no slacking on this team. The team's got the depth. They get the net minding. No, their backup netminder, oh yeah, he's only got 10 wins, no loss. It's ridiculous. It's absurd how good this team is. This team is deep, and they have a target on their backs, and they don't care. They are winners. I walked by the guys. The boys were chirping me when I was interviewing Toby Harris, having a good time, making fun of me about Mickey Burns. These guys have confidence, man. These guys are a confident bunch. These guys don't care who you are, who they're playing. They're out there trying to win games. Let's jump to number 2. I'm going to go to number 2 right away because it's the Junior Bruins. Because the big story here is going to be my 3 and 4. The Junior Bruins are going to be right there with Hitman. I do think it's close. I think it's closer than it was last year. Hitman raised the Founders Cup. But the Junior Bruins last year showed you don't need that Founders Cup to raise the big one. You don't need the Founders Cup to raise that Dineen, man. The Founders Cup is incredible, and that is a testament to a team for the entire year. The Dineen Cup is the one we're all looking for here now as we go on. 3 and 4. Here's the big problem. The Cyclones have 3 games in hand on the Connecticut Junior Rangers. So the Connecticut Junior Rangers, while tied in points right now, are really... Let's say even if you get 3 points out of those 3 games, if you're the Cyclones, you're still 3 points back in that scenario. So I do like the place that the Cyclones put themselves in there. I like the defense the Cyclones play. I like the Cyclones here. And I put the Cyclones at 3, and that matchup between Cyclones and Twin City Thunder is where I could see the Thunder getting an upset victory in that series because they can play the same style Bill Flanagan plays there. And that would be just a knockdown, drag-em-out series for 3 games out there in the Cyclones' barn. Anybody's ball game toss-up in Game 3. 4 seed, the Connecticut Junior Rangers. I think this is a situation where the Connecticut Junior Rangers from that 4 spot, what did I say? I made playoff predictions already for you. I'm telling you, the Hitmen win round 1. The Connecticut Junior Rangers, they win as the 4 seed. You got 2 upsets in the 6 and 7, so the Rangers are now playing the Twin City Thunder in the 2nd round. They go to the finals against the Hitmen. That's your final right now. I've made we're talking about way too early predictions. That is way too early. There's your final. That's going to be the Hitmen versus the Rangers.
I do like the idea of the Northern Cyclones playing the Twin City Thunder because it's the story of the immovable object versus the immovable object.
Yes.
It's
Doug
just
Friedman,
2 immovable
man.
objects
Doug
staring
Friedman,
at each other.
Doug Friedman versus Bill Flanagan? Come on, babe. This is it.
That's a game that would end with both head coaches strapping on skates and getting out there by themselves.
That's exactly right, man. Let's go, baby. That's it. Let's talk about some players real quick before we close this thing out. You know, we did the NCDC All-Star selections. I want to talk about some of those guys that I think need to be talked about right now. And there's some names out there that I see. And the first one I want to start with is a Euro 2 with already a commitment under his belt. It's Cy Leclerc. And this guy, you know, when you got a last name like Leclerc, you're already good in my book. And this guy, he could have been he's easily one of the best players in the league right now. He's young. He's got a huge future in front of him. How good has Cy been?
I mean, he's been great. I mean, it's one of those guys where he shows up on and off the stat sheet, right? He's not just a guy that you have to go watch tape for. He's a guy that you can look at his numbers and you can get directed to some of the best games that he's had. He's just been a crucial part of this team.
That's exactly right. And then I jump over to the New Jersey Rockets side of things, and you know they have a lot of guys who kind of have gone unsung throughout this season. And one of those guys for them, you know, when you look at the stats, you look at the whole thing as a whole, has been Luke House, who's been big as a house for this side, man. This guy, 12 goals, 11 assists, 5 on the power plays, a year 2000, and he's a great dude, man. This is a dude who's a leader in the locker room, leader on the ice, and he plays in a way that you can really get behind.
Yeah, I mean, he's been incredible. We've watched him now for a little bit, and every game he just makes a difference. He's a guy that, you know, just knows where to be in the right times. And I think another guy, as we want to talk up some defensemen here as well, is Kevin Lastman from the Connecticut Junior Rangers. He's a 2000, 5'10", 180, shoots right-handed, 1 goal, 10 assists on the season, but you know why I like him? He's an assist-heavy defenseman who stays out of the penalty box.
Yep.
And we have seen that the story of this season has been if you stay out of the box, you are in better shape than the other guys. And this is a defenseman who plays physically with skill, who doesn't commit penalties, and that can be a guy who you build a defensive core around. He's not just a role guy. He's a guy that can really be the centerpiece of a defensive unit.
Let's talk about a centerpiece at center. How about Will Crane? And this is a guy who every time I do a broadcast, I am more and more floored by the way he plays the game, man. This is a never-quit type attitude. This is a guy who battles 5 goals, 9 assists. Maybe not the numbers you expect out of an all-star center, But guess what? He does the things that don't show up on a stat sheet, folks. And you know, we all want to talk about how do we get to the next level, and the points are great, right? Because it's easy, because the guy can look at the number on the top of the point sheet and he can say, hey, I see 50 points, I see 100 points, I see these are big numbers. But this is a guy who the numbers happen when you see him in person. Will Crane is a one-of-a-kind athlete.
Absolutely. I mean, just a guy that you can't say enough about it. And I think one of the other guys, Dan, and you had kind of hit some of my guys. The last guy on my list here, Liam Quinlivan from the Boston Bandits. This is another year 2000. 6 goals, 9 assists on the season, 15 points. Had a really nice season so far. Another guy who stays out of the penalty box, and that's super important when you're playing, in the USPHL NCDC division. But this is a right winger who just finds a way to get to the areas that he needs to be in. He has like a sixth sense out there on the ice. And you go back and watch tape of him and you'll see he puts himself in situations that are adaptable.
Yep.
He doesn't overcommit and overextend. He knows where to be in as many places at one time as he can be.
How about Alexander Kozik, goaltender for the Twin City Thunder, and Cameron Fernandez, goaltender for the Jersey Hitmen? Mm-hmm. These are two guys that I just think, before we close this thing out, had to be talked about. I mean, Kozik for Twin City, man, he takes over the reins here in net. He's put up double-digit wins on the year. He's got a .931 saves percentage for a team where he's seeing 519 total shots. For Fernandez, you want to talk about a guy you can trust in net when he gets the start. He's 10-0, 0-1, only lost in a shootout this year. When you have a backup netminder who doesn't lose in regulation, that is something special to have.
You need 2 netminders.
Yep.
Bottom line, you need 2 netminders to be successful. The teams that are successful have 2 goaltenders that can start on any given night. There's your example right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been fun. The NCDC is where it's at. It is the nation's best competition, best league, and it is been fun so far. Can't wait for the NCDC All-Star Game. That is on Martin Luther King Day. Tune into that on Hockey TV with us, or coming out to the rink, Lawler Arena. Come say hello, get a handshake, talk to us, chat with us. We'd love to meet you as well, folks. Thanks so much for watching. Let's go to the empty net here, Lucas. I think you got a little bit of some interaction from the folks from this past weekend at the USPHL's Winter Showcase.